Demetria. And we'll go to the next slide, which is just welcome to our meeting. Today we have a really exciting agenda going on. We're just going to review the group agreements really quickly. We're going to go over the assignment reviews, and then our CAB members are actually going to do some quick presentations on their project ideas, I guess is what I could call it, which is really exciting. I took a sneak peek at the PowerPoint, so I saw some of them. I didn't read them in depth because I want to hear from y'all, but there's some really great ideas in there. So I'm very excited to hear what everybody has to say and what they have planned. And then we're going to go over assignment 6. We're going to briefly talk about our SNAP-Ed Needs Assessment Committee, which is being formed this month. And I will go over that at the end, and then we will do closing. So it's a very packed full agenda. So I want to go ahead and get started. So we'll move to the next slide. As always, we're going to do a quick icebreaker. So just give your name, where you're coming from, and then your favorite thing about spring. So I can kick us off. Michaela Gallo, I am the SNAP-Ed project specialist for the state of Georgia, the Georgia Division of Family and Children Services, Department of Human Services, DHS DFACS for short, which is probably what you guys are all familiar with. And I'm in Atlanta, right outside of Atlanta. And my favorite thing about spring is not the pollen. It has been a nightmare the past couple of days. I'll say, like, I'm a big fall girl and I'm all for like fall colors, but I also love spring colors. So all the pretty flowers being in bloom, like the pollen is not ideal, but the flowers being in bloom and everything and all the pretty colors is definitely a plus. And the weather this week, the weather's not been great, but usually it's like 70s, so it's nice. But do we want to do a popcorn situation? Yeah. Or
I
whoever
can,
wants to come off mute. Tamika, go ahead.
yes, hi, Tamika Brown, Augusta, Georgia. My favorite thing about spring is just the sunshine. I mean, because I just feel like the winter seasons can be so gloomy and you don't really get as much sun. But when it's spring, you get to see the flowers and just the sun, and the days are prettier.
Thank you, Tamika. Jasmine or Jody?
I'm Jasmine. I'm in Savannah, Georgia. And my favorite thing about spring is, I guess, like the flowers blooming, just being able to go outside and have a nice, pretty day. So the weather, it hasn't been quite good coming up, but I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm hoping it warms up. I think it's supposed to warm back up this weekend. Fingers crossed. And Jody, do you want to introduce yourself?
I am Jody. I am also in Savannah, Georgia, and I am in AmeriCorps Vista with the Forsyth Farmers Market and a full-time student. My favorite thing about spring is planting new crops, but I also particularly prefer this weather to the heat that we're about to endure. I don't like giving Georgia Power my money.
Understandable. I don't either. All right, Christian or Mitria, I can hand it over to y'all to introduce yourselves.
Hello everyone. I'm Christian. I'm with PHI-CWN. I'm the Community Engagement Specialist. I'm in sunny California, where it's been sunny all year this year. I don't know if we had winter. I feel like it went from like mild winter to spring where I'm at. So, my favorite thing about spring is I really love listening to birds. Like it makes me think I should like become a bird watcher or something. But I really like listening to birds. I got like a chair for my little covered porch area, and I've been sitting out there at 6 a.m. with my little London fog tea, and I'm like, oh, I'm so majestic on the porch listening to birds. But that's definitely my favorite. So I'll pass over to Demetria.
Nice. I had to look back out my window. You guys can't see it, but it's storming where I'm at right now in sunny California. So that's not necessarily what I've experienced. However, I do know we're blessed with the some of the weather that we get. And I think that kind of correlates with my favorite thing about spring is that it's not so hot, but it's wonderfully like comfortable to be outside, go for hikes. I have a hammock. That's my favorite place to be in good weather and just be out there to kind of mentally have some time to meditate or step away from my kids in the workday and be at one with nature around me. So that's my favorite thing. I did jump right into my favorite thing because I was excited about it and failed to say. I hope you guys know me by now, Mitria Munyon, and I'm with CWN here in Sacramento, California. Excited to be here.
All right, it looks like that's everybody that's on right now, so we can go ahead and go to the next slide. And I realize it is a smaller group probably because it is spring break here too. So that's probably why a lot of people might be traveling or just completely out of the office this week, even if they're just at home. So that could be why we have a smaller group. Just wanted to briefly go over the group agreements. I'm not going to list out all of these, but our number one, as always, is coming as you are, asking questions, making sure that you're sharing your unique perspectives from your different communities, staying engaged, especially since we have a smaller group. We would love for y'all to be engaged. I know Tamika and Jazzle, you guys said you're kind of going to go in and out tonight. That's okay. But just being as engaged as we possibly can, giving positive feedback and having a respectful discussion, especially on days like today when everybody's presenting their own unique ideas and projects. We really want to be sure that we're being respectful of each other and supporting each other where we can. No idea is a bad idea in my eyes. So if I could just get thumbs up if we want to add anything, take anything away from these. If we're all good with these, we will move on to the next. Right, I think we're good. And I'm handing it over to Mitria.
Sounds good. Thank you, Michaela. Thanks all. So before we dive into the meat of what's going to be hopefully a really rich conversation for us, and I am hopeful a few others will join to be able to talk about their proposals, I wanted to spend some time talking about the other assignments. So March was a time that we had a lot of assignments and things going on, and so we don't want to brush past anything without giving some space. So I want to give you a little bit of updates. So when we think about from our last meeting to today, we've actually gone through 3 different assignments. Assignment 4, which is the proposals. We're going to spend some time talking about those today. Assignment 5, which is the feedback to the expanded voice presentation. And so I'm going to give you a really brief highlight on that. And then the extra credit assignment number 1, which was helping to promote that expanded voice community event. And so just to give you a brief update, and we're not going through the full kind of reports of these assignments like we typically would because the deadlines brushed right up against this meeting. And so we're still working on some of those components, but I wanted to make sure that I was circling back so that everybody knew where we were with these. So assignment 5 was the assignment where we asked CAB members to provide feedback to the presentation that will be conducted with community members in order to improve that presentation and make sure that it was well received when we do give it. That deadline was March 29th, and we had 5 of you complete that assignment. So thank you to those that did. That feedback has been really helpful. The evaluation team is incorporating that feedback into the presentation as we speak. So for next steps on that, you can expect the typical assignment report for this assignment like we would, but it'll be accompanied with the updated presentation so you can see how your feedback has been incorporated. The extra credit assignment, which is along the same lines of the same event, was asking you all to help spread the word and promote this opportunity within your communities. As Jody announced when she came on, she had somebody that registered today. Thank you so much. We also had 5 of you that contributed to that recruitment and promotion opportunity, and we are grateful for that. Technically, the deadline for that extra credit assignment is today. So if you promoted or shared on social media or sent emails to community members or sent flyers or anything to community members and you haven't already completed the assignment, you still have, today to do it. Please go ahead and let us know that you've done that. It was, really nice to kind of look at the responses from people who were registering for that event and hear that they heard it from friends and they heard it from CAB members. And so some of them named you by name. So that's really great. We appreciate the support with that. Um, as a reminder, the way the extra credit works is if you, for instance, didn't complete one of the previous assignments, or maybe you possibly missed a meeting, the credit that you get for completing that assignment can be used to make up for those missed assignments. And we'll be talking at the end of today's call a little bit about kind of progress reports so you can see exactly where you are and where your credit lines up. So that's just a quick plug. And those are the assignments that we've had pending this past month. Obviously, there's more to come on those reports, but that really brings us to the meat of today's conversation and diving into assignment 4. And I think Christian's going to take us through this.
Yes. Okay, so assignment 4 is when we asked you guys to submit your project proposals for the state to consider for that participatory budgeting project that we did talk about quite a bit through the years. So we've just kind of been building up to this in our next assignment. So the ambassadors, ambassadors, CAB members, gosh, what's wrong with me? I'll change that. But so each CAB member will have 3 to 5 minutes to share and present your ideas to your peers. Mitria is going to be my timekeeper. So that way we don't run over time. There's 6 of these, I believe, we need to get through today. And so if you have questions, while one of your peers is presenting, please drop it in the chat. I'll make sure that we're watching that as we go along. And then we could take questions for about a minute after each presentation before we have our next presenter. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this, and we'll go to our first presenter. Hopefully she's available.
Before we do,
Yes.
like, just to give people a little bit of a heads up, I'm going to drop it in the chat so that when people come on, they can see it too. But just so you know when to expect your name to get called, we're going to go, I think it's Jasmine, Caroline, Tamika, Wisteria.
Yeah, and Miriam.
And then Miriam. And so we'll read the ones that aren't here. But
yeah.
Sound good?
I do have a question. This Tamika, do y'all have a copy of, because I'm not home, of what we submitted to you all? Or
yeah, it's on the slide. Yeah.
Because I don't have. Okay.
Yeah. So what I did was because I knew it was going to be a lot of content again, we went ahead and we kind of summarized your guys' questions and those answers and laid them out on the slides for you. So you guys can read those things off as you present and expand and elaborate.
And I was just wondering, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is it possible for me to go first? Because I don't want to miss my turn, and I'm going to have to probably leave, not be in and out, but just I have enough time right now. Or you want me to just come back?
I can navigate that. Jasmine, if you don't mind going second.
Oh, I have another presentation also at 5:30. So, I mean,
We can go.
Let's
She can go ahead and go. And
okay, we'll do Jasmine, and then we'll go straight to you after that, Tamika. Is that okay?
Okay. So let's have Jasmine go. She had Through the Lens of Karate. So go ahead, Jasmine, take it away.
so basically, my proposal was because I was thinking about my daughter because she's in karate. So and with karate, they're exercising, but they're also you have to exercise and eat healthy to maintain a good, as far as body type, to do like different techniques. And it's basically self-defense. It's not necessarily fighting. So it's something that will help a child or someone growing up long throughout, not just children, but adults too. Like just have a self-defense type of technique for themselves if they get in any type of situation trying to defend themselves. So basically, I would like to potentially have like my daughter is in a karate school. So I was thinking about their school, and they would go to the farmer's market and have like a presentation there for the community. And so yeah, that's basically what I was thinking of them performing, and just showing how exercising and eating healthy combines together through karate.
Awesome. I'm going to go through the next slide. We have your accomplishments, benefits, and challenges slide for you.
Okay, I was talking and I was on mute. Okay, for the accomplishments, benefits, and challenges. So accomplishment, so basically, this proposal is trying to accomplish eating healthy, promoting eating healthy, and staying active in the community, and also staying fit. So the benefits will be it'll promote eating healthy, and then people will be able to have the opportunity to exercise and also get self-defense training. And the challenges, I'm just thinking like contacting different karate schools around the community, and just reaching out to different farmer markets.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Jasmine. Does anyone have any questions about this proposal or anything? All right.
Yeah, you know, it's very doable. A lot of the farmers markets look for community opportunities like that. At the Forsyth Farmers Market, we have the community outreach booth, and every month, actually every month, she selects anybody who comes to her with a proposal to do outreach such as that. They look at, especially where there are intersections between health and healthy activities around food. There are always opportunities with our local market for that kind of interaction.
Awesome.
Okay, I didn't know that.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Jody. It looks like Tamika dropped out of the call.
Yeah, she's done that on and off a couple of times.
Yeah,
So,
she's having a connection issue.
okay. Jody, I'm responding to your message privately, and I'm trying to pull some things together on the back end. But while I do that, and while we wait for Tamika to come on, Christian, can we
Yeah,
try to share Caroline's
yeah,
proposal?
yeah. So this was Caroline's proposal, one of two of her proposals. She submitted two. Her first one is called Farmers Market. And so her goal was PSE. The location would be community specific. The priority age was basically all the ages, 5 to 76. Racial group, unknown, and priority ethnic group was also unknown. So the farmers market is it'll match for EBT purchases. So her potential partners were Wholesome Wave Georgia and New Life Community Alliance. And so the goal is really to improve healthy eating, active living, and food resource management skills. Next slide. The accomplishments, benefits, and challenges she had on here. So it was to accomplish and improve access to healthy food, improve affordability of fresh fruits and veggies. The benefits were to address the affordability of fresh fruits and vegetables, and addresses the community needs assessment. So she pulled this from one of those community needs assessments that we shared with you guys from all the counties, is where she came up with this idea. The challenges would be needing to connect with Whole Foods Georgia and connecting with NCLA is what she saw. And then her second proposal on the next slide was cooking, nutrition classes, and healthy recipe book. So this actually is a PSE goal. Again, it was community specific, and it was ages 18 to 76 plus. The priority racial group was unknown, and the ethnic group was unknown. So it was to improve healthy eating and active living and food resource management skills, as well as improve access to inclusive SNAP nutrition education classes for SNAP Ed eligible communities. So this would be cooking classes using typical ingredients given to the community through New Life Church food, the food pantry that they have. To discuss nutrition, a healthy recipe book with simple and nutritious ingredients, and make recipes with typical food pantry items. And so when we met with her and discussed this one, Michaela and I, she gave us a little more background that they hand out food boxes, and sometimes people don't know what to do with those ingredients in there, and they just give them away. So it was also, to help reduce food waste as well. And so to give people materials in those boxes so they know how to cook healthy meals with what's in those boxes. The second slide, some of the accomplishments was healthy meal preparation, creating nutritional meals. The benefits, which she explained to us, was one of them was waste reduction. People would be throwing out less food. They would be using it. And also to provide nutrition education. Some of the challenges she kind of thought for herself were participation from New Life Church and finding a nutritionist and deciding how many recipes to build with those boxes. Those were her two. I'll go ahead and pause in case anybody has any questions. Myself or Michaela might be able to expand a little bit on what she was thinking since we met with her. Okay. I'm not hearing anything. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Tamika. A healthy you is a better you.
Okay. Yes. I'm sorry, I just had technology problems. Okay, so a healthy you is a better you. So the program is designed to promote a holistic well-being by emphasizing the importance of healthy eating habits. And I wanted to really look at because sometimes we need to connect healthy eating with self-esteem, just healthy nutrition with self-esteem and fostering mental wellness, because they all play a major role. Like if you're a healthy you, then most likely your spiritual and your mental and your self-esteem will be better anyway. But through a combination of interactive workshops, so guidelines, mindful exercises, self-care strategies, physical and emotional health will enhance. So our goal is to empower individuals to make informed choices, develop a positive body image, and cultivate a happier life. So that's my thing. I just feel like when people are healthy, they're at their best size. Just creating a program, they could just be a healthy youth. The age will be, it could be from 5 to 50. When me working with youth, a lot of them have low self-esteem. And I mean, just thinking about them wearing jackets, not feeling like they're good enough, not feeling like they look well, or even like we don't even wear masks, but you still have some students that wear masks because of self-esteem issues. And it will be all groups, all ethnic groups, and the location will be just a community specific, and hopefully we can put it in the schools. Okay. I go to the next slide, or is that it?
This is your accomplish, what you
Hello?
hope to accomplish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what I help to accomplish is a healthy culture with self-empowerment. Benefits will be, to just promote a healthier lifestyle. And challenges will be long-term sustainability. I even think about when I did a program with the youth, it was kind of like Beauty in Me. And we used to have them like focus on healthy eating, self-esteem. And it was a great program because the girls were able to build their self-esteem, but I would like to make it where, it's for all age groups to be able to participate in this. So that's all I have.
Awesome. We'll pause for questions if anybody has any questions for Tamika. All right. I'm not hearing anything. Thank you so much, Tamika. Our next one was from Bristeria. So the title of her proposal was Eat Healthy, Stay Active, and to Continue Education. Her goal was PSC. The location was community specific. The priority age was everybody. And the priority racial group and ethnic group was all. The goals were to improve healthy eating, active living, and food resource management skills, improve access to inclusive SNAP nutrition education classes for SNAP Ed eligible communities. So the description for this project includes motivation and encouraging words and quotes from all age levels to get the community engaged and actively focused. The project will include resources to help the community to know what assistance is available in the area. I also think this project should include active participation and demonstration to show the community how to effectively make healthy choices or how to walk a couple of minutes a day to get their heart and body active. Her potential partners were local farmers and neighborhood parks.
Let me just add a little bit because I had some calls with Bristeria on this. I think one of the components that she discussed is like there's pop-up events everywhere, and if they were focused with, you know, a community lens or a health lens like this, that they would be well received in a way to kind of promote, also to promote like the farmers markets and the parks and things that are happening. So just adding that little bit.
Thank you. What she hoped to accomplish was eating healthy, nutrition education involving SNAP Ed, and then some benefits was its various age groups, so it's a wide population. So we'd see, you know, a variety of outcomes and experiences through her project. And then some challenges she saw was scaling this project, making it bigger, and sustainability, as well as ADA compliance was another challenge she saw that we might have to overcome. But all in all, it's a great proposal. I'll go ahead and pause if anyone has any questions for Mitria. If, you know, that came up for her during talking to Bristeria, I don't want to I wasn't in that meeting, so I don't want to speak for what I don't know. Okay. Not hearing or seeing anything. Miriam couldn't think of a title, and that's okay. So this is her submission. Her goal was to improve healthy eating, active living, and food resource management skills. She wanted it to be a statewide program for people ages 18 to 75. And her priority racial group and her priority ethnic group was all of them, so everyone. Her potential partners were churches and nonprofits. Unfortunately, there wasn't a project description, and that's okay. So hopefully it's something we can meet up with her and kind of tease out to find out, you know, what she was thinking, and we could share back with the CAB. Her next slides for accomplishments were to encourage healthy eating and eating on a budget. The benefits were farm to table meals and families growing their own foods. And then some challenges is deciding what communities to target, and then getting in contact with the schools, businesses, and churches that she would promote through. So that was her proposal. It looks like we have another add-in here. So I'll go ahead and pass it to Jody so she can present her proposal.
Jody, I'm
sorry.
working,
I was like,
I'm
where did
working
that
on slides over here. Sorry. It's a little
Okay,
hard to do
it's
it
all right.
live, but
No, I know,
go
I
ahead
know
and
that.
go ahead
I
and share your ideas and I'll build it up as you go.
I initially was had come to the team with just what I thought was just a basic idea, which was, you know, leveraging digital platforms. It had kind of two components, and the team kind of helped me tease out a couple more ideas on that and said that I could throw in two proposals. I didn't realize I hadn't gotten those pushed through. So I'm so sorry. But the idea was that was to create effectively a wiki that would live on the on state websites, whether it was hosted by the University of Georgia, the Department of Education, because I know that there are some they have a food hub, as it were, for schools and for early childhood learning centers, but basically to not just promote SNAP Ed within their communities of educators, but also to disseminate it to the general public, because the Department of Education's websites and university websites are universally well available. So this could live as a link to a site that's just internally hosted with active links to engage people in the resources that are currently available, as well as is specific to SNAP Ed, such as the videos that you don't have to jump around to get to various sites where these things are hosted. They would just be in one place as an FAQ style format, drawing people to it. In addition to that, I thought that it would be an opportunity to bring people into a micro learning site. And this is where we started talking more about a global idea for Promotora styled programming. And I hadn't even really been introduced to that term until this conversation, where you're training the trainer at a local level, because I saw in a lot of the surveys that people felt like there was a disconnect, that they didn't get to see people that they were familiar with, or they didn't know people from their communities who were educating in this subject of food nutrition and being knowledgeable about where to access food resources in their communities. From my experience, to train the trainer at a local level, you don't just have the credibility of tapping into people in that community, but you expand it, because they're like, oh, I know Susie over at the community center, or Joe at my church. They're able to share with their individual friends, and then that just kind of blooms out from there, knowing how to find the resources or the educational support. And considering that I'm currently working with building a Mama and Me program at the Forsyth Farmers Market that really caters to pregnant women and lactating mothers, we're looking to bring in doulas and lactation consultants, and they do get some nutritional counseling, but they would be optimal candidates for kind of investing in this micro learning site, where they could invest a couple hours, get chunk learning in contemporary topics and subjects around SNAP Ed, to continue pushing that out and disseminating it to a larger public group. In return, they would be able to kind of give some feedback on data and statistics about how they're using this material. And overall, it would just be an opportunity to increase accessibility and education in this realm. The state SNAP Ed would be able to gain information about people in various local population groups who might participate in more educational training, even on-site training. And they would be able to, get people more engaged and involved at the local level. So I think that overall I was, just trying to tap into building partnerships and collaborations among different shareholders. Priority ages would be 18 and up It would be more of a global rather than a community-based location. Racial group, all, ethnicities, all, and then the partners in most cases would be the state, the universities, the existing partners that SNAP-Ed already uses, but also to engage more medical professionals and educators. Sorry. So you're trying to do slides for me. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to like run through everything I remembered.
No, it's okay. And I don't want to discount your amazing content and try and fit it into, the slide. I think it would be really good if you have the opportunity, Christian, let's make sure that assignment is still open. Jody, if you could plug this into the assignment, we'll work with you to update the slides and give you the opportunity to kind of present it together for the next phase of this project, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And we can connect offline with that.
That sounds good. I'm sorry it didn't connect the way it should have. I apologize.
Yeah,
No,
that's
not
okay.
a problem.
That's okay. We can bob and weave. We can make it work. So just for some discussion, if anyone has any thoughts. So this is 8 proposals, you guys. That's awesome. This is everybody's proposal lined out here. So we have Through the Lens of Karate, we have a farmer's market idea, we have cooking and nutrition classes, a healthy recipe book, a healthy you is a better you, eat healthy, stay active, and continue education. Miriam, hopefully we get to connect with her and figure out kind of more what she wants her title to be. And then what Jody just presented, leveraging digital platforms for community empowerment and a micro learning site. I just want to open up the floor for anyone who has any other thoughts or anything they'd like to add about any of these proposals, any questions that might have come up while we were talking or you were listening to your peers or me talk.
I know that this isn't exactly the experience that we were anticipating with the presentations, and so missing so many people to be able to share their personal stories with why they promoted their recommendations. I feel like it may be a little hard to kind of reflect, especially with such a small group of us, and have a fruitful conversation. So I do welcome any initial thoughts or reflections, but I think we will look intentionally at how we can work with those members that are missing to have them share their proposals in their own words. And so we'll do some reach outs to do that for the next phase. I'll just kind of acknowledge that it's a little difficult to consider these from this perspective, but Jasmine, Jody, if you have any thoughts that you want to bring in, we welcome them.
Yeah, I always love the idea of a cooking nutrition class. I mean, obviously that was, from point to point, it's challenging, especially if the staff or there's not a local person that can help to facilitate that. Although online cooking has become a thing, I know that it was mentioned by the SNAP-Ed representative that they found that local connectivity in some of the rural areas is still challenging around Georgia. But obviously, hands-on style learning is always a good way to go. And I'm always going to advocate for your local farmers markets. I see where SNAP-Ed content can really be delivered very effectively by the farmers market, especially if they have access to materials.
Thank you for that. Sorry, Christian.
Yeah, no, you're good. Hi, Miriam, welcome. Yeah, those are all really good points, Jody. Yeah, do we want to go to assignment 6 or do we want to ask if Miriam wants to expand on her proposal?
I know, Miriam, welcome.
I'm gonna put you on. Oh, congratulations to your friend. Oh my God, on a boat. That's so great.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Did you want to present on your proposal that you submitted?
Or just talk to what your ideas were?
Oh, okay. She'll go back and listen to what she missed. Okay. We will go ahead then and move to the next slide. And I believe that's Demetria.
Yeah, I'm going to take the opportunity to pivot because things are not exactly as we anticipated. And I think fluidity and flexibility with things is really important. And so I'm going to take some liberty to do that in this particular case. I think we did receive some amazing proposals from all of you, and we're appreciative of your time and commitment to develop those and come up with them. The hope was that you could share those with your peers, as a few of you did today, and hear from everybody, like especially the passions and the background behind why. I think it was really nice to hear from the three of you today to hear why you came up with your ideas and what connections you had that inspired those, because they'll help us to really understand what's being proposed and how it might fit. The next phase is to think critically about these presentations and these proposals, and which ones really resonate with all of the committee, which do the committee feel like are projects or proposals that could benefit the health and wellness of all of Georgia in order to, be promoted as a potential project to be funded by DCFS in the next year. Considering that we didn't exactly have that full experience today, what I would like to do, and I'm gonna tax us with some extra work, Christian. She puts on her glasses so she can write down her notes. Let's reach out to those that were missing today. So Jasmine and Tamika both had the opportunity to present theirs live with the right background. Miriam, or I'm sorry, Jody, we're going to set you up so that we actually have a slide deck for you that matches what you're talking about and give you the platform to actually present that. We'll reach out to you and see if we can schedule 15 minutes with you to just allow you to do that and record it. And then we'll reach out to those that were missing today to do the same. We will get an email out to them before we sign off West Coast today and see if we can pull that information together by midweek next week, if possible, depending on people's availability. And we will reshare that with everybody in assignment 5. So rather than just reflecting on what may have been discussed today, in the assignment 5, we'll present each of the proposals back with you with a clip of how your peers have presented that in their own words so that you can consider it. We'll ask that you review and consider those proposals and respond to the survey providing your feedback. What do you like about this proposal? What do you think are strengths? What would you like to see more of and across Georgia? What feedback or suggestions do you have that might strengthen that proposal? And when we look at all of the proposals overall, how do you rank them, and which would you vote that we should prioritize in making recommendations to the state office for the next year? We will pull the results from assignment 5, and it will be a big part of our conversation in May. So that's how this assignment will work. We are working on a tight timeline in order to be able to have that in conversation, to do those conversations in May before you guys break for summer. So like I said, we will do our best to connect with those committee members that are missing and get their information pulled. Miriam, that includes you. We'll reach out to you and see if we can get a little more detail on what your proposal is and give you the space to put it in your own words for your peers to review. I'll pause there and just take a pulse from the group. Does that sound like a good path to move forward? I know I'm kind of changing the game live and want to be respectful to what everybody feels like will work. Thank you, Michaela, Jody. I know Jasmine may be in another meeting. Miriam, I hope that sounds okay to you. I also am always mindful of y'all's time and I want to keep us going. So if there are no objections, that is assignment 5. We're going to go on and turn it over to Michaela to discuss another opportunity, the Needs Assessment Committee.
Okay, so if you'll go to the next page. So my colleague, Texera Peoples, who is our evaluation analyst, that is on my team. I know you guys are very familiar with myself, and then also with Latrice, who is my supervisor. We also have a third member of our team. She doesn't join these calls, but she is our brand new evaluation analyst. She oversees all evaluation aspects of our program. And something that we're doing in Georgia that we've been working on for a while is we are conducting a very large 3-year needs assessment. And a needs assessment is basically looking at a lot of various factors throughout the communities in Georgia, and putting together a big, huge document that is going to look at all the type of areas that SNAP-Ed should work in, what counties SNAP-Ed should work in, what we are missing, etc. It's a lot more expanded than that. That's just kind of a snippet. But Texera is leading a needs assessment committee. They're going to be similar meetings to like what we do here with the CAB, except we would like to have community members as well as we're going to have a representative from each one of our implementing agencies. We're going to have representatives from some of our mini grantees and their partners, and it's going to be kind of a larger group. And basically, I can't provide a ton of details because it isn't my project. Texera probably could give more information, but she wasn't able to be here tonight. But we are looking for community members to join this. It's not as, I believe they're going to be meeting either once a month or once every other month. And they'll start meeting in May. And it will go until March of 2025, and then it will be no more after that, unlike the CAB where we continuously go each year. This will be ending in March of 2025. So if you know anyone that would be interested in it, once I have a flyer ready, which I'm putting the final touches on the flyer now, I will send it to Mitria and Christian, who will get it sent out to y'all. So there's further information. But if you're just like off the bat, I know somebody that would be very interested in this, feel free to scan that QR code. It will take you to a link directly to the application. It's a very short application, shouldn't take more than a few minutes to complete. Or if you just would like more information, you can reach out to the SNAP-Ed email that's listed there, or you can reach out to Christian or Mitria and we will get the flyer sent to you. We're going to get it sent to everybody. And you will be reimbursed for your time, very similar to this process as well. It's just a very exciting opportunity. And if you're interested in like looking at the needs of communities, looking at evaluation stuff, looking at data, then this might be the spot for you. But yeah, that's all the information I have for now. I wish I had more, but the applications are open. Mitria just put the SNAP-Ed email there, but I will have a flyer for y'all very soon. But that's all I have on that. So we'll go to the next slide, and I believe it's Mitria closing us up.
Yeah, I'm gonna close this up. Just hit a few reminders and announcements. So as we go to closing, I did want to let folks know, for those that it's your first round as an ambassador or as a CAB member, we will be processing progress reports here in April. So this is your opportunity to see what we have documented as your participation in the CAB. CAB members will receive an email from Christian that just outlines, how many meetings we've had, how many we have you down for attending live, and how many we have record that you've actually communicated that you've reviewed what you've missed. And then same thing with the assignments. We're up to 5 or 6 assignments now. How many have you completed? And where's your extra credit if you did do any extra credit? Where does it apply. This is relevant to the reimbursements. So as you may remember in the onboarding, your reimbursement for participation is tied to your participation. So us having a record of what you participated in helps us kind of dot our I's and cross our T's for making sure that you can get the most reimbursement back. So when you get your progress report, if you have any questions, or I thought I finished that, or I didn't, why am I not getting credit for this? We welcome those questions. This is what the process is for. Review what we have down for you, and send any questions back. Many of the assignments, although they have a deadline, we'll still give you the grace to complete them after the deadline. There are few assignments that have a hard deadline, and we notate that in the communication to you. So for the most part, if you are behind on anything, there's still an opportunity to kind of get caught up if you need to. I'll pause there and just see if there's any questions about progress reports. Goody, goody. Wrong way. Boom, it's so touchy. So the summer schedule, just reminding folks, we're concluding the April meeting now, coming to an end. We have one more meeting next month, and it will probably be a very jam-packed meeting where we ask you to stay for the whole hour and 15 minutes because we've got a lot of business to take care of. Being able to come to conclusion on our recommendations for funding programs by May is an important deadline in order for the state office to incorporate our recommendations in their funding plans for the next year. So that will be an intense meeting day. So please mark your calendar, make sure that you're here and participate in that. And then we'll take June and July off, right? That was something you all voted on and expressed was important to you in the beginning of the year. So we will keep with that. And then we'll come back together and conclude this federal fiscal year of the CAB in August and September. So you can expect some conversations in the next coming months about recommitments and what the committee will look like moving forward. So this is just a little reminder that we'll be taking some time off in June and July. Last plug, stay connected, important links, resources, and your next meeting date. So we always have the Google Drive. We try to make sure that that is prominent in our meeting PowerPoints, and anytime you're emailing us, that's where all of the resources and information are saved.